Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea if you're new here, and I am now 27 weeks pregnant today. It is Wednesday, May 5th, 5 days away from my birthday, which is horrifying because I'm kind of like not, like the older you get, the less you look forward to birthdays because I am nearing, I'm gonna be 28, but I'm like a little bit scared of 30 if I'm gonna be honest, so. I'm gonna jump right into my updates this week and then hop over to my app and then do a bump shot because I feel like I look really big this week. I feel like my cheeks are all red. I was just outside. We've been redoing some of our landscaping and I just pulled up like 60 landscaping stones to give or to sell on Facebook Marketplace. And then last week I pulled up like 150 of them. So it's kind of backbreaking, but once it's done, and it feels so good to have them up because they're the kind of stones that you have to like weed eat around, and we just don't have time for that crap. So we're gonna do like a clean edge that we can just mow right against, and it's gonna look a lot better. So I'm excited for that. Okay, so as far as I'm feeling, you know, 1 week away from the third trimester, it's kind of nuts. I just cannot believe I'm that close. I do feel like my ribs, like Zach was giving me a back massage the other day. I'm like, my ribs feel like they're expanding. Like they just feel wider. Like when he's rubbing my back, I'm just like, that doesn't feel right. And yeah, as I'm feeling them now, I can tell that they're like out. So I think that's starting to happen, and it kind of hurts like in between my ribs. Doesn't feel very good. So I talked about last week in this update that Zeke had stopped napping, and I got a few like really good suggestions on what to do, and I actually feel kind of silly because I think he was getting like too much sleep because he sleeps so good at night. So we put him down around like 7:30, 7:45, and then he wakes up at like 8. So he's getting 12 plus hours of sleep every night, and so he just wasn't like requiring that nap anymore. We started letting him stay up a little bit later just because of the weather being nice and heading into summer, and it's just kind of like we've had more stuff going on in the evenings, and so he's been staying up later. And then I've just noticed on the days that he stays up late, he takes a nap the next day. So like for instance today, it's quiet. Do you hear how quiet it is? Both boys are asleep. He did not nap yesterday, and then we had small group last night, and Zeke was up until like almost 10, and then he did not sleep in because he never sleeps in. Even if he stays up super late, he'll just wake up at his normal time. I think that's the key though, is letting him stay up a little bit later and then having him wake up at his normal time. Then he's gonna require that little bit of a nap. So yeah, he's currently down. We went to the library and the park this morning with some friends, and he is exhausted, just totally exhausted. So I'm very relieved that he's taking a nap right now. I wanted to share a funny story from last week. So our yard, we had a lawnmower debacle. Like we sent our lawnmower in to get serviced, and it took 6 weeks to come back. And like we know, like they're busy this time of year, but that was not communicated with us. It was really frustrating. And our yard just kept getting like so long because our yard is treated, and so it grows really fast and really thick. So we had been borrowing a neighbor's lawnmower for a while, and we finally were about to get our lawnmower back. And so I was like, I'm gonna like, I love to mow. I love outdoor work. And so I was like, I really want to mow. And then I started thinking about like the smell of grass, and I suddenly like had this urge come over me. Like I had to go mow the yard. Like I had to push mow at least the trim so then I could get my nose up in there. Pregnancy's so weird. And so I had like a craving just to smell freshly cut grass, which is ironic because I'm allergic to grass. Like whenever it's like freshly cut, I have like an allergic reaction. So it was just really funny because I was like mowing, I just trimmed around our house and then like the driveway, and the whole time both boys were like running after me, like crying because I was not paying attention to them. But I was like, mommy needs to do this. I need to mow the yard. I need to smell. It was just really funny, at least to me, because if you would have been able to see like how desperate I was to do what I wanted to do. I was just being so stubborn. That was a little like silly story from last week. Just pregnancy cravings. Like it's not just food, it's smells, it's textures, it's weird things. So I've started to feel like claustrophobic in my own body. And I've kind of forgot about this symptom, but it definitely happened with Ezra. Ezra was definitely a bigger baby than Zeke was. And I remember kind of nearing the end, I started to feel like panicky in my own body. Like, I just want to take a full breath. I just want to like be able to like suck it in. I kind of like, I don't even know how to explain that, but I get kind of claustrophobic in my own body carrying a large baby. And the other night I kind of had like a mini panic attack. Like, I was sitting on the couch and suddenly I couldn't take a deep breath, and I was like, I just want to take a deep breath. It feels like he's, I mean, I carry my babies really low. It's not that he's super high, but when you're sitting, they do sit like high, like your belly comes up, and I was like, I can't breathe, and I kind of started freaking out a little bit. But that's kind of a symptom that has started. It's happened a few times now where I've been like, I just can't get a full breath. So I think that I'm getting to that point. I mean, I only have 12 weeks left, 12-ish weeks left if I'm induced or whatever. I don't know. It kind of freaks me out going into such hot weather, which it's not been hot yet. It's been beautiful, but I can definitely tell like the breathing is going to be an issue this summer. So that's something that was kind of new this week. This week I started going through some baby things. So you'll kind of see behind me, there's a bunch of junk on that bench. And so a lot of stuff was just like sitting in Ezra's closet, and I decided one morning to try to tackle it, and it was a hot mess, and the boys were both just like emotional wrecks. But I ended up finishing kind of some of it, but I, you know, have donated some stuff. Like, I know that this is my third boy, and so like I don't really need anything new, but it's amazing how much I can get rid of that I just didn't use with the boys. And so I'm definitely trying to like minimize our stuff and not have to store so much. And then I'm trying to find a new solution for like where to put our clothing containers of different size of boy clothes, because I feel like the attic feels like a little bit of a stretch, because then if I need something I have to go up to the attic to get it, but then I don't want these in their closets, and that's where these containers were. They were in Ezra's closet. And I'm like, it just looks tacky. There's too much stuff. I don't really want them in the closets, even though his closet's a walk-in. And then I was thinking like maybe I could put them in the basement somewhere. We do have a guest room that has a closet that's not really being used right now. So I was thinking about putting those containers in that closet, because I do from time to time, you know, want to access something in one of the containers, whether it's a pair of shoes or like, oh, I need this sun hat, you know, we're going to the pool, but that's not something that I had out yet, like just stuff like that. So I had a good time like kind of looking at all the baby stuff and getting some things hung up. I think we have decided to have the younger boys share that room for now. We will see how that goes. I was thinking that Ezra could just like nap at a pack and play in the basement, or maybe even still nap in his room and the baby could nap in our bedroom in the bassinet. So we'll kind of see what works out. And honestly, like, we'll just play it by ear, and if we have to change everything around, it's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. So that's just kind of what I'm thinking mentally to kind of prepare for this next season. I have been having insane Charlie horses at night in my stomach. So like last night I woke up probably over 15 times, like my stomach just clamping up like a Charlie horse. I can't explain it any other way. I think it's just round ligament pain from stretching, but if you have any tips on that, I do take magnesium, and I know potassium is big with that. So is there something other than bananas that I can eat that has potassium? Because I don't really like bananas all that well. I'll eat them if I have to, but I don't know. I feel like something's got to give, because I'm sleeping great until I have a Charlie horse, and it's absolutely terrible. Or until Zach wakes me up snoring, because that's been really bad. And then something else I noticed, I thought that I was going to have another pregnancy where I struggled with heartburn and like acid reflux and stuff, because I started to have that a little bit around like 18, 19 weeks, I think. And then I realized the other day, because I had wings the other night for dinner, like spicy food, I realized like, I don't have heartburn. I haven't had heartburn in a few weeks. And so I kind of am wondering, I guess we'll see if this old wives' tale is true, but I had zero heartburn and acid reflux with Zeke, and he came out with like, I mean, he had hair, but it was super light and it fell out really fast, and like it just wasn't, he didn't have a lot of hair for a while, and then he was bald for a little bit. Then Ezra, I had tons of heartburn, acid reflux like crazy. I could hardly even drink water like without it coming back up my throat. It was miserable. and then he came out with a full head of almost black hair. And so I know that like old wives' tales are not always true, but so far that one has been true for me. And so I'm gonna be curious if this baby does not have much hair, because the heartburn went away and it's not come back, and I feel like I can drink all the acidic things, I can eat whatever I want for the most part, and I don't really struggle with it. So I'm just like super curious if this baby has hair or not. So I guess we will see, but that'll be a fun mystery. This week, let me go get something. I'm not like completely sure like how big a bunch of bananas should be, but this week I happen to have a visual for how big baby is. He is as big as a bunch of bananas. So I mean, it makes sense with like my belly. That would probably fit in like what I'm seeing on myself lately, but how cute is that to think about? So yeah, this week baby is the size of a bunch of bananas. It says Ovia, that app. It says second trimester, 27 weeks. Here is the handprint, footprint, and I will do some light reading. Okay, so it's saying that he's between 14 and 15 inches, about the size of a bunch of bananas, and weighs just over 2 pounds. Crazy. Your little one is now opening and closing their eyes. The brain continues to develop at a rapid pace, preparing to control their body and movements once they're born. He can hear you now, and if you haven't done so already, try talking or singing to your baby. It never hurts to familiarize them with your voice. They're already your biggest fan. Well, I'm always singing and always talking, so I hope he likes it. It is encouraging moms to stay active, even though we're hitting that like almost third trimester slump where your energy kind of tanks again. I will say, like, between all the yard work and the walks, I've actually been hitting my rings on my watch almost every day, and I feel like that's really encouraging because I don't think I've ever done that in previous pregnancies. And it's not like I'm trying to stay like fit or active, like I'm not even working out for that purpose, but I'm encouraged to know that like I am still trying to like stay active in a sense. I mean, I feel like it's less of an option to just like sit on the couch when it's nice outside. So this is my first like spring summer pregnancy, and so I think that's been really helpful, and I really liked that this time. It says it's also time to get started on some of the more practical details of getting your home and life ready for baby boy, like getting a crib, a car seat, other baby related necessities. So it's funny that that says that this week, because we just scheduled our date for Zach and I to go to IKEA together. We're gonna purchase his crib. We just love the natural wood ones from IKEA that are like super cheap, and we've really loved that for Ezra, but we're not ready to move Ezra out of it yet, so we're gonna purchase that. And then I just started going through all the baby things and kind of thinking more that way now that our house project is finished, so, or mostly finished. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to see what kind of route we go with the nursery. We'd never really like styled Ezra's room when we moved here a year ago because I knew that it wasn't going to be his permanent room. It's agreeable gray by Sherwin-Williams, so it's not an ugly color, and I didn't mind it, and so we just moved him in and just haven't touched his room since. So I'm kind of excited to do something fun in there, but I'm not quite sure what I want to do yet, so we'll see. At the end, it talks about how there's a chance that you might develop symphysis pubis dysfunction, SPD, or pelvic girdle pain, a disorder caused by the pregnancy hormone relaxin that makes your pelvic joint partially unstable. Ouch, that's what's happening to me. I mean, I think so. So I feel like around my like pubic bone, my perineum, is that how you call it? Perineum? Perineum. Pelvic floor, and my lower back, I just feel so much like weight, pressure, and like it almost feels like bruised. So like if I stand up from sitting, like I actually feel like my like the front of my pubic bone is bruised. And then I can feel that there's like separation between my pubic bone, and then like sitting on the toilet is just like absolutely painful. Only sometimes. I can't really quite figure out why. It's more painful sometimes than other times, but I don't know, it's so rough. And so I do like get scared because we might want more kids after this. We don't really know for like a fact, but I'm like, man, this has gotten worse each time. I didn't have this at all with Zeke. I had it a little bit with Ezra, like a little bit later on, and then now I'm having it really, really bad, and it started around 20 weeks, like the separation and the relaxant and stuff, or maybe it was more like 22, 23 weeks, but still it's been really painful, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this again, especially like while caring for 3 kids next time. So I don't know, we'll see. It definitely makes me think in the future, but like I shouldn't do that, because you know, everything can change so much and life can change so much, and we'll just see. We'll play it by ear. So that is the update from me and from the app this week. I used Ovia this week. I did not look at Baby Center, although I think I peeked at it yesterday and it was saying that the baby's the size of a head of cauliflower, so pretty similar sizes, but I love to see like what size the baby is. I am starting to think about birth a little bit. My friend this morning actually asked me more intentional questions about birth, and I was like, I haven't thought about it. Like, I just keep blocking it out, but it is time for me to think about it, and it is time just to kind of start mentally preparing. I'm not one that goes in with like a birth plan, because I don't love to have to like let go of something that I've planned if things just don't go that way. But I do like to have something in the back of my mind and kind of start mentally preparing for it. So ideally, I'd love to not get an epidural this time. Ezra came real fast, and if this one can come as fast as Ezra, I really don't feel like I'll even have time for one. So we'll see how it goes. But at the end of the day, if I end up getting an epidural, I'm not gonna be like mad at myself or like feel less than. They always say there's not a gold star at the end, and it's so true that there's not a gold star, but there are some health benefits to not getting an epidural. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But anyway, that's the update, and let's jump to my bump shot. All these toys all over my kitchen. It's like kids live here or something. And then loose clothes again. I'll just lift it up. Ooh, looks a little bit lower this week. Maybe. I don't know. I'm in shorts. These shorts from Old Navy that are just like linen and loose. Oh my gosh, they're amazing. Whew. I'm feeling large this week. So that is all from me today. I apologize for my appearance, not that anybody probably cares. I just did not have the energy to put any makeup on today, and I did shower yesterday, so there's at least that. But I will see you in the next update or the next video that we put out. I totally suck at closing these things out, but go ahead and like and subscribe if you want to keep seeing videos like this and stay in tune with our family and what we're up to. And we will see you in the next video. I will be starting my 3rd trimester next week, so come back for that video. I'm kind of hoping that not a lot changes before then, because if anything changes, things are just gonna get spicier. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video.